afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Stories of a Holiday Rep YouTube channel. Here with Dean again today.
Hiya, 3. Can't believe we got to 3 already.
Three in 3 weeks. We're getting. We've almost got it all down to a good plan now. Great response again from last week. Thanks so much from everybody. And this week we're going to be talking about guiding and the transfers. So obviously we did the transfers from the airport. You'd have guiding from excursions, and it was quite a bit of fun on the buses.
It did, but my first experience of it, and someone mentioned something on Facebook earlier about when they were learning. It was like when you're in your training course and you had to do your guiding training, and ours was in Grand Cannes, and we had to go on the bus and then fake airport transfer and whatnot. But my first experience, this was the first experience of actually putting your uniform on. It's like, right, tomorrow everyone's going to put their guiding uniform on first time. That morning I came down into the restaurant in a clipboard, uniform, feeling dead smart. It was the first time I'd worn my shoes, my airport shoes. And I hit it was a sunken dining room. There was like 8 stairs leading down into the restaurant. I stacked it. Absolutely stacked it. 8 stairs, boom, 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 on my arse. Just lay on the floor at the bottom of the restaurant, and there's like 100 reps all sat there pissing themselves at me. I didn't live it down for the rest of the day.
The thing is with the guiding, obviously, compared to some of the other parts of the job, it was quite a mundane part of the job, but so many things could go wrong all the time. And, essentially, if you explain it to somebody, you've just got to get everybody on the bus, make sure they're on the bus, tell the bus driver to go, and go. And still, the amount of mistakes that
I don't know how many times you had to tell people head count.
Yeah.
Make sure you do a head count before you leave to go on an excursion, or before you come back, especially before you come back.
Yeah.
But the amount of times that reps would leave someone somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly on guiding an excursion.
Yep.
At the end of the excursion. I can't remember the full story, but someone told me once about something that happened in Grand Cannes, where someone got left behind, and it was so I never actually worked Grand Cannes. I did some training there, but I never worked it. And there was an excursion called Sioux City, which is like a Western show.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
And they take people up there, and there was this guy who was on holiday on his own, but he was also blind. So he'd chosen to book this excursion to a show, which for him was just noise. But on the way home, the guide didn't do the head count properly, or she thought she had, but they'd left someone there, and it was the blind guy. So you're blind, you're in somewhere you don't know. Yeah. And I think it was maybe half hour into the trip home that they realised that they forgot him.
Oh no.
I wish I knew the full story, but that just stuck in my mind. I remembered it earlier this morning.
I had it
That'd be a nightmare.
I had it in Cabaret in Benidorm, and when we used to do it, there was a casino just outside of Benidorm on the way to Villariosa, and so we'd do all the cabaret there. It was spectacular. I mean, for a cabaret destination, it was incredible. You walk in, you had a massive room, lights, smoke machines, everything, and then me and the other compere of the night, we were allowed into the casino part at the end of the cabaret, which was great. We used to get free drinks in there, brilliant. But you've probably got 5 or 6 buses, to get back at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's, they've had all the free drinks and whatnot. They're a bit up, and we had this group, 2 guys and 2 girls, boyfriend, girlfriends, and the guys were over 18, so they were allowed in the casino, but the girls were still 17, so they weren't. So I've gone around trying to find these 2 guys in the casino. I can't find them everywhere. The girls are on the bus. Can't find them anywhere. And I said, look, guys, I've got, 54 people on, or 52 people on this bus. We've looked for your boyfriends. I'm sorry, we're going to have to leave. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. We've got kids on the bus that need to get to bed, sort of thing. So, yeah, we took a good 20 minutes looking for them everywhere. Couldn't find them. So, head back into Benidorm, leave them there. And they were waiting for me at the hotel. They'd got a taxi back, waiting for me to get off the bus. So I stepped off the bus. You fucking left me there, you left us there, we want your name, blah, blah, blah. Getting really angry with me. I was like, guys, I've looked for you everywhere. Told you had to be on the bus at 2 o'clock. Bum. No, you're a prick, blah, blah. They were proper gassed up as well. And just about to start on me, physically, and then they stopped. I was like, what? I was like, they were like, oh, okay, no problem, mate, no problem. And got the girlfriends and walked off. I was like, great, you know. And I'm a skinny 19-year-old little rep at the time. Look behind me, I've got a family of bodybuilders on behind me, stood right behind me, just giving them the glare. And yeah, didn't have any problem that night, fantastically. But no, I mean, look, for those that you're watching this that don't know the ins and outs of guiding, it was a very, you know, it should have been like we said at the beginning, a very, very simple thing. You've got to make sure you've got the guests on. Do you remember you used to have to go do the count? Did you have to do the count from the back of the bus?
From the back.
Always from the back. You've got to speak on the mic, you know, tell people what's going on. You know, if you're doing a resort check, so if they're coming from the airport into resort, you've got to tell them all about the resort and stuff like that.
But there was a lot of... How many times did you have to say, don't forget your welcome meeting?
Don't forget your welcome meeting.
Like 3 or 4 times to try and drill it into their head?
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, the airport, there's actually been comedy sketches made about airport runs. I think Little Britain did one.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, the computer says no.
Yeah.
She was on the bus and like, if you look out to your right, you'll see Spain. If you look to your left, you'll see Spain. It did seem quite monotonous. It seemed similar. They made it funny because that's pretty much how it was. It's like, you look out to your right, oh, there's this. But you made that bollocks about stuff.
Oh, God, all the time.
I mean, we were guiding in Marbella, like in the Costa del Sol. We'd do a day trip on a Sunday up to Marbella, go to the market, and then they'd have a wander around Marbs in the afternoon. But I think the Sultan of Brunei owned everything up there. You know, oh, you see that building over there on the left? Well, the top floor, the penthouse, Sultan of Brunei owns that. Well, when you're down in Banus, there's a big massive boat there called the Shah. Sultan of Brunei owns that. See that golf course over there? Sultan of Brunei owns that. I think it was just passed down from generation to generation of rep.
We did the ones in Menorca. We had Branson owned everything. Mm-hmm. So apparently Branson owned a villa in Mahon. Whether he does or not, I had no idea. And then we used to, say Menorca in like the farming areas, they used to have these piles of bricks that look like a mini pyramid sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember one rep, and I carried it on afterwards. One rep was absolutely stitches the way he told this. It was brilliant. But he'd be going, yeah, you know, like in the UK, you've had your foot and mouth disease, and you know, it's been really bad. And then in Menorca, we've had, you know, really serious issues here. And if you see all the big piles of the bricks, you know, this has been all over the island, and it's caused real problems for all the farmers, and this, that, and the other. And it was Frank the mole, the giant mole.
Frank the mole.
Yeah, that's what all the bricks come. As the mole coming up. You know, like you get moles in the yard, and you get that little the giant mole. But the way he did it, and he was like carried it on for probably about 25 minutes or something along this journey. And everybody's getting really into it, and then it just come up with the strapline. Yeah, it was Frank the Mole, and God, yeah, there was some crap that we used to.
Well, here, the Algol Waterfalls here. I think the Timotei advert was apparently filmed there.
Oh, it was filmed in Menorca as well.
It was filmed in Menorca. There was somewhere in the Costa del Sol it was filmed. I'm pretty sure there was something in Lanzarote when I worked there. It was filmed there also. Filmed in a lot of places.
Menorca, it was Cala Galdana that they were filmed in. Yeah, here the Algol Waterfalls. Yeah, it was just total crap. But it was. Did you prefer doing the airport ones, or did you like guiding the?
Depended on the trip.
Yeah.
There were some that were just like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trips that you didn't enjoy, the ones that you actually wondered why people had actually bought them.
Blanket trips.
Oh, right, well, I'm glad I didn't have to guide a blanket trip. No, but the one I just mentioned, Marbella, it was to the market and then to Marbella and have a wander around. And then we did another one to Banus at night. It was just, you're paying for a transport to Banus. Yeah. You have 4 hours to wander around the port and do what you wanted and then back. They were pretty boring, but I did enjoy guiding cabarets and in Lanzarote, adult night. Yeah. The adult night. I'd had a couple of drinks before I got on the bus to guide that one night. And for some reason, something came over me, and I just thought I was absolutely hilarious on the bus. And I did. I had the entire bus in stitches telling these jokes, but the reps were all sat there looking at me, like, "What are you doing?" But I just kept doing it. But I'd literally nicked all of the comedian that night's jokes that he would do in the show, because I watched it for like 4 or 5 weeks on the trot, and I just did all his jokes that night on the bus. So when he actually came on to perform, they'd all heard them all. So absolutely fucking ruined his night. But I thought I was brilliant.
where's your neighbour? 10 minutes into just starting this, every week so far, he's got up and left.
At least he's turned the TV off now.
Yeah. Oh man, that must have gone down a treat with him.
I don't think.
Did he know?
No, there wasn't the reaction that he was getting week on week.
Yeah.
I'd had it on the bus earlier.
You didn't tell him afterwards, or no? You told him?
Oh no, I wasn't going to tell him. No, he looked scary. But he was funny. That's why I nicked him.
I like the Menorca. We used to do this Menorca sunset cruise, and bloody flies in Spain. And I used to like guiding that because we used to go and you take them all over, do the gin factory, which was always a good hour, and then we'd head off into the boat to do like a sunset cruise around Mahon Harbour. Sometimes I'd go on the boat, sometimes I'd just go for dinner in Mahon. But it was like, because obviously then didn't have cars or anything as reps unless you hired one on your day off sort of thing. You know, it was getting out to somewhere else, and you know, I'd go for dinner somewhere in Mahon, and you know, which was great, and just seeing other places. But the guiding, yeah, I quite liked the guiding, and just the crap you could pull on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And the transfers for me, I got an issue with coaches. So I fall asleep even to this day. As soon as I hit a coach, bang, I'm like that. So doing the Benidorm one, especially at certain times of day when you got the sun coming right into your eyes.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It was ridiculous. I used to have these. I bought from the Chinese shop this ridiculously big pair of sunglasses, and I had it all timed on my phone, so I knew. Did the first, like the intro bit. Welcome to, you know, all right, your transfer is going to be about 45 minutes, blah blah blah, and right, put some nice music on, bang, I'm out like a light. I put these big sunglasses on, made sure nobody was sat next to me, or if possible on the side next to me, and they covered all around my eyes, and I just like that. And then I knew as soon as I timed it all, as soon as I got to the tolls that we had then, phone would go off, right? Welcome to Benidorm, everybody. I had it absolutely down to a T. There was a couple of times it didn't go off, and the bus driver had to wake me up.
Yeah.
But it was.
We had a really long transfer when I did ski. We were in Alpe d'Huez, and our airport was Grenoble, and it was at least 3 hours.
Yeah.
So the transfer back in the morning, it was like a 5:30 pickup. It was horrid.
Yeah.
Around the resort, pick everyone up, and then off you went. You were like on the bus, right? We're on the bus. Just before we leave the resort, make sure everyone's got their passports, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Heads down, literally asleep in the guiding seat. And then when you were 10 minutes from the airport, the driver would give you a kick.
Yeah.
Wake you up. So you do your entrance into the airport. But the transfer back, obviously 3 hours the other way, you did a full welcome meeting on it.
Oh, really?
You actually had to do 2 welcome meetings. We're in ski season. So the transfer in was to sell ski school, lift passes, and ski and snowboard hire.
Yeah.
So you do the whole spiel on the bus. Then you had to walk down the bus, speaking to each family or couple about what they wanted to buy.
Yeah.
So you'd fill it all that ticket, and then you did the visa machine. Remember the cook?
Yeah.
Do one of them all the way up the end of the bus. Thousands of pounds you're doing, because the ski pass was probably about 185 quid per person. Your family for that's a lot. Then they all wanted ski school. Then they all wanted ski hire. You know, so you were taking thousands. But then when you got to the front, you had to write all your visas down onto a piece of paper. Yeah. And then fax that over to the office so they could authorise everything. So it was really embarrassing when you get a message back saying this one's not gone through. And you'd have to go down the bus and then speak to the person whose visa hadn't gone through, but try and be discreet about it because you didn't want to embarrass them in front of everyone else that had gone through. But 3 hours and doing a whole welcome meeting on a bus, and then you had to do another welcome meeting later for everyone to sell activities. So you had to do 2. But yeah, the one on the way back to the airport, sleep. But the one on the way in, it was full on.
Did you have any drop and runs in your? So hold on, drop and run. These were the hotels that you didn't want to drop people off at because it was so, like that. What was that? In-Betweeners film.
That's exact. Yeah. Anything like that, or last minute. Oh, we've run out of hotels. We haven't got enough people, so we're going to get this hotel for a couple of weeks and put people on allocation on arrival in there.
That's right. Yeah.
But they don't know where they're going. But when they get there, they're not going to like it.
Yeah.
So you get off the bus. You'd be like to the bus to say, right, I'm just going to run in and make sure the reception's got your names. Ready for when you check in.
Stay here.
So rather than your normal hotels where you walk them into reception, go, reception, no worries, right. Enjoy your holiday, see you later. You jumped off the bus. Before they'd even got their luggage off, you run in and go, right, I've got 10 people. Yeah, got right, back on. Enjoy your holiday on the bus. Quick, driver, run.
Yeah.
Gone. because you didn't want them coming back at you.
Oh,
because as soon as they walk into reception, they were going to kick off.
Yeah, we had so here we had one up Cardiac Hill in Benidorm that was just, it was horrible, you know, and it just, as soon as you got there, and by the time, you know, people had driven all around and all the streets and everything, and you got there and it was just like, it was just a car park and a building, same thing as that in between. It was horrible. But the other one we had was in Benidorm was there was another Flamingo hotel that opened, and so you had the 4-star Flamingo Oasis, and then you had the 3-star, I think, Flamingo Benidorm, I think it was called at that time. And it was such a big confusion that first year it opened that everybody thought they'd booked the Flamingo Oasis, but actually they'd actually booked the Flamingo Benidorm. And it got to the point where you just like, you knew it was going to kick off. This is not our hotel. No, you're not at this hotel. You're at the next stop. No, we booked this one. Actually, no, yeah. All the paperwork out and see, blah blah blah. Oh, they kick offs from that.
But we were the ones that get the blame for stuff like that, not the travel agent that booked it for them.
Yeah.
It was our fault.
Yeah, it was. It's always the rep's fault. You my GCM rep.
Ours in Benalmádena was the Park Apartments.
Right.
It was terrible. I mean, every week cockroaches. The pool was filthy, everything, and it was one of my good mates that repped it. You just knew there was always going to be trouble, but I think it's not transfer wise, but this is how bad this place was. He got called up to a room because they said they had cockroaches, and the wife was screaming and stuff like that, and he's in there talking to the husband, and he sees this thing in the corner of his eye run out from under the fridge. So he's like, bang, stamped on it, blood everywhere. It wasn't a cockroach, it was a mouse.
Oh no.
Right, and the husband's like, fuck. And the wife's like, what was that? And they're both like, it's just a cockroach, love, it's just a cockroach. It had fur on it. Yeah, but it's just come out from under the fridge. It's like, you go out onto the balcony, don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
That's how bad this place was.
Yeah.
It didn't just have cockroaches, it had mice. And that was a drop and run for us.
Yeah.
In Benalmádena.
Yeah, they dropped there. It was easy in Menorca because the hotels were all pretty nice, but as soon as I got here, it was just like complete contrast of Menorca to here, and Jesus, yeah. Who wants to stay in a place like that? But
no. It never happened in the Del Sol, but I've heard stories where coach drivers were sleeping with the female reps.
Oh, everywhere.
All over the resort.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't recall it so much in the Del Sol, but it was like something that I heard about a lot in the Balearics.
Oh yeah, there was always a couple of the it was one of those ones where I think I knew a few of them in Benidorm and Albier. Menorca.
Do you think there's a bunch of kids that are driving buses now because their fathers told them, look, learn how to be a bus driver, you're going to get laid left, right and centre. And now they're all kicking off at their dad because they're like, you told me this. and now I'm driving the Blue Rinse Brigade.
Yeah.
Around in Benidorm.
Yeah, this is a Sin gear. Sin without rep.
Without rep.
Yeah.
You lied to me, Dad.
Yeah. Not having the bus drivers, not having as much fun as they did in those days. No, I mean, listen, the bus drivers, I used to get on with the bus driver. I think if you got on with the bus driver, and over time you get to know them, you know.
Yeah, I had my favourite drivers down in the Costa del Sol, for sure.
There were some crazy ones, and they were nuts. But I think the nutty ones, you know, I remember we had one here that he was desperate to learn English, and he said to me, you know, it's like, how do you sort of, what's the best way of introducing, you know, myself and saying hello to your English guest sort of thing? And I said, it's easy. All you got to say is, all right, geezer. So this bus driver for ages was getting on the bus. All right, geezer. All right, geezer. They loved it, but the more funny they were, the more tips they got.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do something, you know, when I was repping on the bus. It was, you know, if you've enjoyed your trip, you've enjoyed your stay, you know, and I'd come up with some bus drivers got 15 kids and blah blah blah. Just leave your tip. Don't put it in the box up front. Leave it on your seat. And the bus drivers loved it because the first time they'd be like, where's all my tips? Because they love their tips. I don't know if it was the same in Del Sol, but here they just, you know, they lived on their tips. And I said, go and have a walk down the bus. Clean your bus, mate. Clean your bus. And they'd be like, €2, €1, €2. They absolutely loved it. And
see, I didn't know where you were going with that because you said that the rep would say, leave your tip on the bus, on the seat. But then the rep, before he got off the bus, would go down and check the bus for anything that's been left. and then just pocket it all for themselves. I thought that's actually quite smart.
No. Listen, because there was other times, be like, especially on the late night flights, and normally the bus driver, you'd have to get off at the last hotel. But if you're good friends with the bus driver, you go, come on, give us a lift home, because it was.
Oh yeah, the nice guys would. And then you get somewhere like that, nah, and they'd leave you in Fuengirola, and you had to get back to Torremolinos.
I had one here in Benidorm, and because I had a car in Benidorm, I wasn't doing my third season without transport. It was driving me nuts. So I drove down from France in this car, but the car, it was an old battered Vauxhall Corsa or something, and I used to meet the bus on Avenida Mediterraneo, where all remember we opposite the office.
Yeah.
And I pulled up this morning, next to the bus. I was basically parked in the middle of the road. But I had a habit of getting out the car and locking it. But this time I left the engine on, so the key was in the car. And the purpose, I wanted to basically go and tell the bus driver, I'll meet you at the hotel. I'm not meeting you here. I'll meet you there, and I'll park my car at the hotel. So I got out the car, locked it, went to tell the bus driver, came back and realised, fuck, I've locked the car. With the car running, in the middle of Avenida Mediterraneo in Benidorm, and the bus driver's gone. So my car's basically just there in the middle, running, not being able to get into. But I had it, because I did this a couple of times, I left keys dotted all around town, just so I could get into it. Prepared. And I had a key in the office that I ran over and got. It was, it was good fun. But listen, something we did this morning, we actually asked all the reps on Stories of a Holiday Rep. So we've got a Facebook group that we run. It's about just under 18,000 ex-holiday reps on there. Hopefully a lot of you are watching this now. Make sure you subscribe. But we asked you guys this morning some of your stories, obviously, because the last couple of weeks you've just heard from us and our memories, and we got a few through.
We did. Actually, we got a really good response. Good response.
Excuse me, I'm going to look at the mobile phone while we do this, but we got some great responses. Do you want to go first?
Okay, yeah. So, should we say who they came in from?
No, I think we should keep it keep it a bit anonymous on this.
So, I've got one here, and the rep says that she'll never forget doing a transfer in Benidorm, and for some reason, there was another rep on the coach too, so she saw this, but she ran into reception and was walking backwards out while talking to the guests and tripped over a mop that someone been using to clean and went arse over tit on the floor in front of the whole coach
and whole reception
and the whole of reception, bucket everywhere. I'd actually piss myself at that.
Yeah, that would be quite funny. That would just to see it. Yeah. I had one from Jeff. Sorry, I'm going to mention Jeff because he's actually he now is a resort expert in Benidorm. Works for them. So if you are booking a holiday and you want to come to Benidorm, resort experts, go on there, find Jeff, and he will sort you out. He's been here 30 years. He's worked everywhere, and he knows exactly the goings on, best hotels, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, he wrote this morning. They were on their way back from Pirates in Mallorca, on the way to Calador, having the usual sing-alongs with everybody, pretty drunk, pretty imagine that after Pirates. But just before they arrived at the hotel, a woman rushed in to the front of the bus, clearly about to vomit all over him. So the driver stopped just in time for her to jump off the bus and throw up into a bush at the side of the road. What they didn't realise is behind that bush, it was actually a steep hill. And she was so violently sick that her teeth flew out. Her teeth flew out. And since it was pitch black, there was no chance of recovering them. So the poor woman ended up spending the rest of the week in the room.
Gutted.
Oh, God, can you imagine
it's
the
not
embarrassment?
An easy fix, is it?
No, just imagine the embarrassment of walking back onto that bus.
She was a liquid diet for the rest of the week.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
Oh, I got one here. This is in the late 90s, before the days of proper health and safety precautions. In Menorca, one of his first seasons, early morning departure transfer, sat in the guiding seat on a full bus, and the seat on the guiding seat was broken, the seat belt. But just thought sod it, so I decided to chance it. Fell asleep. Just before the airport, about an hour in, there was a sharp right-hand turn off the main road up to the airport. In his deepest sleep, as the driver took that corner at a bit of speed, he fell out of the guiding seat and woke up with his head in the driver's crotch.
Oh,
Both mortified.
I bet. Jesus, man. Oh, here's another one. I mean, the vomiting on the buses. I mean, did you ever come across it with people being sick on the buses?
I never actually, no. Not even on the way back from Cabaret, where you tanked them up
Yeah.
with booze all night. You know, because
no.
the more drunk you got, the better you looked on stage.
Yeah.
But we'll get around to Cabaret
On
on a different
day.
day.
I had it a few times with the smell of it, but we've got another one here. It's a late night transfer into Mallorca. And the poor rep, so she sat in the guiding seat. What were you doing in the guiding seat? You shouldn't have been sat there. You're not allowed. Yeah, somebody vomited all over her. And then on the same bus, on the same journey, kid had to go to the toilet, but there was no toilet. So he had to pee in the driver's bin.
Oh.
Because the driver couldn't see. He must have been on the motorway or something. Jesus. Imagine the smell of that bus.
That's horrible. Piss and sick.
Oh, I bet the bus driver was fuming after that.
I bet he was. But at least he did it in the bucket and not on the floor.
Yeah, no, I had a few reps. I'm sure I had a few guests that did that, actually pissed on the floor once.
I've had it with my current clients,
Yeah.
my stags and hens. Yeah, they quite often get a phone call from the driver saying that they're not getting their trip home because they pissed on the bus on the way in. Yeah, that's quite a common one. Right, my last one, and this is an absolute corker. So, I had coach number 111 in the parking, and it was full and ready to go. So I asked one of the transfer reps to go and see off coach 111. After about 20 minutes, they come back and told me that the driver had been asking the passengers for money and then was giving them tickets. Plus, because there was no microphone on the bus, he had to shout the entire welcome meeting out, or the entire see-off out to the bus. So in my confused state, I went out, had a look, and 111 was still parked there. So I came back and spoke to the rep and said, what bus did you see off? And he said, the green one parked over there. I went, that was the public bus out of the airport. So he'd done a see-off on the public bus for a load of Spanish people who were probably looking at him really oddly.
Oh, man. Oh, can you imagine? Yeah. That's brilliant.
You honestly can't, you can't make some of this stuff up.
Yeah.
It's the stories are endless. And that's just a couple that we asked for this morning. I'm sure there's hundreds more that are just as good.
This is one from Marmaris, and I know I've done the journey in Marmaris in transfers and stuff, not repping there, but on work, and it is a long journey. And so they had the time in between the airport and Marmaris. And what was it? They had I must have had a stop off halfway through. One family, big family as in numbers, got back on the coach. Coach seemed full. I got on with the mic, as we all do. We all got everybody's belongings. Everybody here? Yeah, okay, right, let's go. 7 minutes into the journey, the dad shouts they've left their little kid, aged 5, at the stopover. Imagine that, you've left a 5-year-old.
Well, that's not even about the rep doing a head count. That's about the family not remembering they've got a kid.
That is like Home Alone sort of
thing. Yeah, it's Home Alone.
So luckily, the driver, being family oriented, they got back and the kid is being fed ice creams and entertained by the cafe owners. Obviously, ice cream is more important.
That's a parent's worst nightmare.
Can you imagine?
Could you forget your kid somewhere?
I've wondered sometimes. No, sorry. No, it's no, God, you wouldn't.
I don't know what I'd do.
No. Jesus, I'd know if my kid wasn't there because it'd be loud and quiet.
Yeah, not getting your head pecked. Maybe that was it. Maybe they weren't getting their head pecked. And they were just, this is peaceful.
That's just evil. That's evil. But I remember the one I had in Benidorm, and it was actually after I finished repping. They had the manager of resort. I'm still living out here, so the manager of resort phoned me and said, "Look, Sam, we're really short this weekend. Could you do a transfer for us?" And I was doing the odd one, just sort of cash in hand sort of thing to help them out. So yeah, no problem. I got the dates completely wrong. So I've gone on this transfer, and I've realised it's the World Cup final for the rugby out in Australia, where England won it.
Oh,
the Johnny Wilkinson kick.
92?
No,
not 92. 2002.
2002, something like that. 2003. The Johnny Wilkinson kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of these little Sony Ericsson phones, the tiny little thing, but it had a radio on it. So I'm trying to pick it up on this radio, and then every stop that we were making in Benidorm, I'm running into the bars. What's the score? What's the score? What's the score? and I missed the final. I mean, I'm a big rugby fan anyway, and it was like missing that was just killed me.
I mean, I watched it, and I'm not a rugby fan.
Yeah, but it was the atmosphere. And the worst bit about it is we're driving through Benidorm, every bar's packed full, cheering, everything. You go, well, just no smartphone
and
or
you
anything.
were doing someone a favour.
And I was doing them a favour. It was never.
Do you ever miss a transfer? Do you ever get to the first pickup point for your transfer, and it had gone because you got there late?
It sounds like something I would have done.
I did. I've just remembered now. I've done it I did it a couple of times in Torremolinos.
Yeah.
I think I had more time to get there, and then I didn't. And then I got there, and it gone. And
you
then got it
Come on, be honest. Say it is. You're hungover. Missed the transfer. Yeah, no, it does sound very much like something I'd have done.
I woke up late.
Yeah.
I got there, transfer's gone.
Yeah.
And you've got to make that embarrassing phone call to the office.
Yeah.
And find out if the driver can come back or if you've got to pay for a taxi to the airport on your own expense.
Yeah. No, I luckily... I must have done it. I must have done it a few times, I'm sure. But it's... Do you know what? We've been talking about transfers for half an hour now.
It's easy.
Well, you know, yeah. It's... No, I think wrap it up to there today. I mean, look, there's so many stories, and they're still coming in as we've been speaking now, just on the Facebook group, and we'll ask every week. You know, so next week what are we doing? Welcome meetings, I think, aren't we?
Welcome meetings, I think, yeah.
So if you've got any good welcome meeting stories, send them over.
Yeah,
I'll be posting it on the group
anyway. So ask for them to put through like you did today, and that was a lot of stories we got today, and we couldn't read them all out. Sorry. Yeah. But there were some corkers in there.
Yeah. We might, if you don't mind, we're going to launch a bit of a Facebook page off this as well, and Instagram, we might put them on there. But yeah, there's a lot of stories. And I think to be honest, at the moment, the first 3 episodes, what we covered how we started, the airport, the guiding. It's pretty much the tame stuff.
It's going to get more interesting.
I think the welcome is the complaints, the cabarets, sex lives.
Is that when we get taken down?
Yeah, that's no, just the really ridiculous stories that come out when the guests are in resorts. When they get to resort, brains go. Mm-hmm. You know,
we said it last week where they literally leave their brains. It felt like on the gangway. Yeah. In the UK before they got on the plane and the door closed. Yeah. And they came through and they have a clue.
No. It's there's just so many. It's gonna be great. But anyway, don't forget. Subscribe. Still need more subscribers, and I know you're all watching it, so if you're watching it now, subscribe. And also don't forget, if you're booking a holiday this year, don't forget about Resort Experts, okay? Destination based, mainly ex-reps, mainly ex-holiday reps.
So they know what they're talking about.
They know what they're talking about. They know the hotels, they know the destination inside and out, they know exactly where you should be, and most of them have travelled all around Europe as well. So if you're booking a holiday, click in the link below, resortexperts.com, and we will find your perfect holiday for next year, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Right. And we'll see you all again next week. Yeah. Excellent.